Post bases provide a connection between a deck's posts, its vertical columns, and a concrete footing. They help resist download, uplift, and lateral loads. A newly developed type of post base also provides moment capacity or restraint to prevent posts from rotating. There are two main types of post base: post-installed bases for existing concrete or cast-in-place for new concrete. The building code requires a post base to have a 1-inch standoff for untreated posts to prevent ground moisture from causing rot. However, it's good practice to select a base with a 1-inch standoff even if the post is treated. As with all building projects, it's critical to use connections that meet the project loads, especially if there are high seismic or wind requirements. When selecting connectors, fasteners, and anchors, it's important to consider the corrosiveness of your environment, as well as the type of treated lumber and metal you're using. Use hardware that meets corrosion resistance needed and always choose like metals. For example, with stainless steel connectors, use stainless steel fasteners. Before installing post bases on existing concrete, first be sure the footing can handle the load. Installation on existing concrete requires an anchor to attach the base to the footing. Titan HD stainless steel screw anchor or threaded rod with Set 3G high-strength adhesive anchor are both good choices. Post bases like the Outdoor Accents APB, adjustable ABWZ and ABU, and CPTZ concealed post tie provide the 1-inch standoff and use anchors that can be installed into cured concrete. If installing into concrete at the time of the pour, post bases like the PBS or CBSQ column base are ideal. Our project uses the MPBZ Moment Post Base, along with the SDS heavy-duty connector screw. The moment capacity of the MPBZ helps provide lateral stability to the deck framing and eliminates the need for knee bracing at the top of the posts. Those are the basic steps for constructing strong, safe post-base connections. But before working on your own deck, be sure to check your local building code or consult an engineer or general contractor. To learn more about other critical deck connections and how to make them stronger, watch the full Strong-tie Stronger Deck series. A deck ledger is a board that attaches to the side of a structure and helps support one end of the deck joist. Properly attaching the ledger to the structure is one of the most important steps in constructing a safe, strong deck. In fact, 90% of deck failures are caused by the ledger pulling away from the house. In order to make a proper connection, it's crucial to know both the environment in which you're building and the structure you're attaching to. Is it a high wind area, earthquake country, or prone to extreme weather? Is the connection being made to wood, concrete, or brick? When was the structure built, and are there signs of rot or age? Are you connecting to the stud, header, rim joist, or top plate? Is there flashing in place to protect the ledger from moisture? Connecting the ledger to the structure can be done with a variety of connections, depending on what the ledger is attaching to inside the structure. When selecting connectors, fasteners, and anchors, it's important to consider the corrosiveness of your environment, as well as the type of treated lumber and metal you're using. Use hardware that meets the corrosion resistance needed and always choose like metals. For example, with stainless steel connectors, use stainless steel fasteners. For ledger connections and wood applications, use structural screws like the SDWS timber screw. In more corrosive environments, structural screws with added protection like the SDWH Timberhex HDG or the SDWS Timber SS are preferred. For concrete or grouted CMU walls, use heavy-duty screw anchors like the Titan HD SS. If installing through brick veneer, a metal connector such as the BVLZ provides a strong connection. We chose the SDWS timber screw to provide the necessary vertical support for our ledger. Fasteners were spaced with the appropriate edge and end distances and with staggered rows in order to ensure each screw achieved its full capacity. Joist hangers and ledger fasteners primarily provide vertical support. The building code, however, offers several options for making a lateral connection between the deck joists and the structure. We're using the DTT-1Z deck tension tie to make the connection between the deck joist and the wall plate inside the structure. This code option allows for minimal access inside of the house when making the connection. Those are the basic steps for constructing strong, safe ledger connections. But before working on your own deck, be sure to check your local building code or consult an engineer or general contractor. To learn more about other critical deck connections and how to make them stronger, watch the full Strong-tie Stronger Deck series. Deck beams are the horizontal framing members that support the joists. Beams can connect other deck members at several places: posts, joists, or knee braces. Beam-to-joist connections are detailed in our joist connections video. When choosing a beam for your deck, consider both the load requirements and the kind of lumber readily available in your region. Depending on your location, you'll likely need to use one of three common types of beam: a solid beam, a multi-ply beam, or two single solid beams connected on each side of the post. For beam-to-post connections, use a connector called a post cap. The type of beam you choose will determine the proper post cap. In solid beam applications, steel connectors like the BC, AC, PCZ, or CBTZ all work to resist gravity, lateral, and uplift loads. The CCQ is a good option for heavy-duty loads, while the APT, APL, and APDJT connectors offer more decorative options. Multi-ply beams can be built using screws to fasten members together. Fasteners like the SDWS timber screw, DWP stainless steel wood screw, and the SDWS framing screw are smart choices for the job. For connecting multi-ply beams to posts, the BCS and LPCZ can provide the strength and support you'll need. The CCQ is also available in sizes that can accommodate a multi-ply beam. In applications connecting two single-member solid-sawn beams to the post, connectors like the DJTZ or APDJT may be used. Knee bracing that connects the deck beam and the post is one method of providing lateral stability to the deck structure. Connect knee braces with fasteners like the SDWS timber screw or Outdoor Accents structural wood screw. A metal connector like the KBS knee brace stabilizer is another good option. This project uses CCQ post caps for the post-to-beam connection in order to provide support for a relatively large beam and posts. Knee bracing was not part of this deck design. Refer to our post base video, where we discuss how certain post bases provide lateral resistance as an alternative to knee bracing. Those are the basic steps for constructing strong, safe beam connections. But before working on your own deck, be sure to check your local building code or consult an engineer or general contractor. To learn more about other critical deck connections and how to make them stronger, watch the full Simpson-Strong-Tie Stronger Deck series. A deck's joists are the horizontal framing members that support the decking material. Depending on your deck's design, deck joists may connect to a beam or ledger, rest on top of the beams, or attach to the rim board. These connection details should provide rotational and bearing support and uplift resistance to ensure stability. When selecting connectors, fasteners, and anchors, it's important to consider the corrosiveness of your environment, as well as the type of treated lumber and metal you're using. Use hardware that meets the corrosion resistance needed and always choose like metals. For example, with stainless steel connectors, use stainless steel fasteners. When joists connect to a beam or ledger, steel joist hangers offer bearing support as well as uplift resistance for both cantilevered applications and high winds. They can also provide some rotational resistance, though additional lateral restraint may be required for deep joists. Hangers like the LUC or LUS are great for most common applications. The HU or HUC are better options for higher load capacities. Double shear nailing can provide a strong connection using fewer fasteners by distributing the load through 2 points on each nail. For most common skewed or sloped joist applications, the SUL, SUR, LSSJ, and LSSR are all great options. When joists rest on top of beams, a connection should be made at the point where the joist bears on the beam. Hurricane ties, like the H1 and H2.5A, provide a positive connection and uplift resistance. In this type of design, blocking is commonly used to provide rotational support, while the beam itself provides bearing support. When the joist connects to the rim board, a framing screw or metal connector should be used. Both options accommodate all three load types. The SDWS framing screw is ideal, or use a connector like the ML angle with SDS screws. For the joist to ledger connections, we're using LUS hangers to support the interior joists. LUC concealed hangers are used to support the outer joists flush at each end of the ledger. H2.5A hurricane ties connect our joist bearing on the beam. And SDWS timber screws were selected for attaching the rim board to the ends of each joist. Those are the basic steps for constructing strong, safe joist connections. But before working on your own deck, be sure to check your local building code. or consult an engineer or general contractor. To learn more about other critical deck connections and how to make them stronger, watch the full Simson-Strong-Tie Stronger Deck series. Guards are an important safety barrier for the edges of elevated decks and stairs. The deck's guard posts are the vertical members along the open sides from which the guardrails and infill are supported. The guard post to deck framing connection is critical when it comes to deck safety. In order to provide the required 200-pound load resistance at the top, the post must be fastened to both the rim joist and the joist framing. Otherwise, a deck will not typically meet the performance requirements of the building code. Post heights can be either 36 inches or 42 inches depending on whether your building is residential or commercial, or if local code requires a 42-inch railing. The higher the railing, the more leverage needs to be resisted where the post meets the deck. When selecting connectors, fasteners, and anchors, it's important to consider the corrosiveness of your environment, as well as the type of treated lumber and metal you're using. Use hardware that meets the corrosion resistance needed, and always choose like metals. For example, with stainless steel connectors, use stainless steel fasteners. 4x4 wood guard posts can be attached to the deck frame on the outside or the inside of the rim joist, depending on your design. If your post is on the outside and aligned with the deck joist, a deck tension tie like the DTT2Z is a great option for making the connection. When the post doesn't line up with the joist, you'll need to create a secure connection using blocking and tension ties at each end. If your railing is 42 inches high, use a heavier tension tie like the HTT4. Blocking, however, may still be required. For decks designed with posts on the inside of the rim joist, secure post to rim and deck joist with blocking and SDWS timber screws. The DTT2Z is also an option. Our project uses the Trex guard system. However, the guard post supports were built with 4x4 wood posts. SDWS timber screws were used to fasten the posts to the wood framing. The flat screw heads allow for a flush outer surface, which provide the added bonus of making for easy fascia board installation. Those are the basic steps for constructing strong, safe, guard post to deck framing connections. But before working on your own deck, be sure to check your local building code, or consult an engineer or general contractor. To learn more about other critical deck connections and how to make them stronger, watch the full Simson-Strong-Tie Stronger Deck series. Stair stringers and treads are two of the main components of a staircase. Stringers are the long diagonal members that support the treads on either side and can be notched or full width. Treads are the horizontal stepping surfaces. Stair stringers need to be properly connected to the deck and treads properly connected to the stringers in order to resist loads and perform reliably over time. When selecting connectors, fasteners, and anchors, it's important to consider the corrosiveness of your environment, as well as the type of treated lumber and metal you're using. Use hardware that meets the corrosion resistance needed and always choose like metals. For example, with stainless steel connectors, use stainless steel fasteners. Stringers attach directly to the deck joist or other framing. Connectors like the field slopable LSCZ are ideal for making this attachment. They also help your staircase meet the resistance requirement of 40 pounds per square foot of tread area. Full width stringers are stronger than notch stringers and make it easier to meet maximum guardrail opening requirements. If your stringer is notched, attach treads with fasteners. If unnotched, the TA9 or TA10 tread angle connector provides a positive connection. Individual stair treads need to be able to resist a 300-pound concentrated load acting over an area of 4 square inches. Our project consists of notch stringers that are supported at the upper end with LSCZ hangers. The bottom end of the stringers are supported by a wood plate anchored to the footing with stainless steel Titan HD heavy-duty screw anchors. The stringer is then fastened to the plate with A23Z framing angles. We've also added an intermediate support using the ABAZ post base, once again with a stainless steel Titan HD. A PC4Z post cap and an A34Z angle connector complete the installation. Code requirements regarding openings between stair treads and stair railing must also be met. Those are the basic steps for constructing strong, safe stair stringer and tread connections. But before working on your own deck, be sure to check your local building code or consult an engineer or general contractor. To learn more about other critical deck connections and how to make them stronger, Watch the full Simpson-Strong-Tie Stronger Deck series. When selecting a material for your deck surface, it's important to consider your budget, your deck's design, and your region's weather and lumber availability. Decking materials are typically either wood or composite. Wood decking can be made from soft or hardwoods like cedar, ipe, or redwood, and can be preservative treated. Composite decking, like Trex, is durable, low maintenance, and available in a variety of colors. Deck boards are usually fastened directly through the boards into the deck joists, using either nails or screws. Nails, while fast and easy, can back out over time. Screws take longer to install, but will reliably stay in place. Deck Drive DSV wood screws and DWP wood SS screws are ideal for fastening into solid wood decking. For fastening composite decking, use Deck Drive DCU composite screws. Both can quickly and ergonomically be installed using the Quick Drive Auto Feed screw driving system. Another way to attach decking is to use a concealed fastening system like the EBTie Premium Hidden Deck Fastening System or the DCU screw plug solution. EBTie biscuits are inserted and fastened with a screw driven through the biscuit and into the joist, leaving a fastener-free surface. The DCU screw plug solution is for composite decking. A special countersinking bit is used to drive the screw, and then a synthetic plug is inserted into the hole to hide the screw. Budget and design will be your best guide for choosing a fastening method. For this deck, we're using composite Trex decking and the DCU screw plug solution. The screw plugs are made from the same Trex decking material to seamlessly conceal the heads of the screws. Those are the basic steps for constructing strong, safe deck board connections. But before working on your own deck, be sure to check your local building code or consult an engineer or general contractor. To learn more about other critical deck connections and how to make them stronger, watch the full Simpson-Strong-Tie Stronger Deck series.
Simpson-Strong-Tie offers the most high-performance structural steel connectors on the market, and they're proven most effective when paired with our premium tested structural fasteners. Together, fasteners and connectors create a system that helps ensure the strength of your connections and the safety of your structures. We provide fastener recommendations for all of our connectors. Variables such as application, environment, and load requirements all play a part in how we determine the appropriate fastener type, length, diameter, and finish. Be sure to match the metal and finish of your fastener to that of your connector. For example, if using stainless steel connectors for corrosion protection, use stainless steel fasteners. Some connectors require a fastening method called double shear fastening. To ensure you're using the right length fasteners to penetrate both the joist and header, see our specifications. It's important to consult our wood construction connectors catalog, website, or the installer's pocket guide to determine exactly which fasteners should be used with your connectors. Find the right Simpson-Strong-Tie fastener for your connection at strongtie.com/connector fastening.